and roll, Chicago. Rock and roll, Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna rock your city, Chicago. Chicago rock and rollers are the best year ever.
Hey, this is Paul Martin
And Ray the Roadie.
for the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast. What's up? What's on tap today, Ray?
Wow, we are going way back with this one.
Way back.
Almost,
Hey.
Yeah, almost further back than some other bands that we know of that have been around for a long time. Unfortunately, these guys aren't around anymore. I mean, they're around, but they haven't been performing as the band. I'm talking about Freewheelin.
Freewheelin, yes. I remember Freewheelin. I know a couple of them guys, too.
Me too. God, maybe that's our connection. That's how we were destined to be joined, and like Siamese twins.
That's right. Well, let's see what Freewheelin has to say for themselves.
Sounds good. Let's go.
We're here in Tinley Park. We're meeting with the band Freewheelin. How you guys doing?
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
No,
Good. Getting old, but good.
Yeah.
Old is right. Yeah.
Good to see you, Paul and Ray.
Nice
Paul.
to see you.
Yeah.
Nice to see you. It's been a while for the band, huh? And you guys are coming out of retirement for a show here.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah, we got. As you may or may not know, we lost a member,
Founding member, yeah.
founding member of the band,
The leader.
and he passed away early last month. So we've got his memorials coming up next weekend, and a musical tribute with Freewheelin and the Dancing Noodles. A great double bill at the Riley's Daughter.
Right.
Oak Lawn.
On
You're
Sunday,
talking about
January
Kevin
12th.
Favish.
Right?
That is, sorry.
Kevin Favish.
On the 12th. It was Kevin Favish, yep.
Kevin played sax with you guys.
Played sax and he played flute.
And he played the same with the Noodles too.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, long time. Yeah, you know that, yeah.
Yeah, Paul, we brought Kevin in after 1 year of the Noodles. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't point out that right now, this is this Freewheelin band interview that we're talking about here, but we also have 3 founding members of the Dancing Noodles here, because Brian Sarna on bass guitar, that's right there. Say hi, Brian.
Hi, hello, everybody.
Yeah. And myself,
Hi, Glory.
myself, Ed Kammerer, and Paul Martin, who is also an interviewer today.
Interviewer and interviewee.
Well,
That's right.
Yeah, so somewhat. Yeah.
But it happens to you a lot, isn't it?
Yes, it
Emma
does.
Raj,
Yes, it does.
Dancing
Yes,
Noodles
it does.
was. Yeah, so that's kind of what brings us together. Plus, the Freewheelin band was a great great moment in many of our lives. We started a band back in 1973 when I was asked to go out and see this band and tell their manager what I thought of them, and it was an ambush. They had a keyboard sitting there, and they were like, "Oh, the keyboard player didn't show up. Could you play?" And so I started playing with them guys, and we decided it was a pretty nice fit. And Freewheelin started out as myself and Jonas Chipkauskas on bass, Eddie Natus on drums, Chucky Newberger, who's sitting to my left. Say hi, Chuck.
How we doing, gang? Yes, here we are.
And Kevin Favish. That was the very start.
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
I didn't realize that myself.
Well, let me just interject here. In 1971, at shop class.
Yes, I was just going to touch on that, Brian. Yeah.
1971 in shop class in St. Rita.
St. Rita.
Father Joe. Oh, man, was he great. Met a drummer named Eddie Natus. And he had put a little garage band together, and he wanted me to come along. And I went there, and it was like really bad. So,
And then he called me.
I said, Eddie, I got a guy for you. And I introduced Chuck Newberger to Ed Natus, and then the rest of Lakewood.
Yeah, and that's how that came about.
And that band was what? Freedom Rock?
That
or
band was
Cal
Freedom
San
Rock
Canal,
Association, and that was a weird lineup there. It was 2 guitars. Kevin was on the pitcher. But that band there eventually sort of disintegrated. Brian took a little break.
Yeah.
The other guitar player quit. And we were just kind of in limbo, not for very long. And Ed Natus got home. He says, I got a bass player, man. I said, would you consider coming back and let's do this? I said, well, okay, let's try it. So we did. and that's how Jonas got in the picture. And the whole time, I got to tell you, I think this is important. The whole time, I'm riding to school with Kevin, sitting on a bus right next to him.
And you guys went to Leo, right?
Yeah, well, right.
Leo
but,
High School. Went to Leo.
But I knew he played sax because he played in the school band. So, we're rehearsing with this band, and I'm the wheels are turning, and smoke's coming out of my ears. I says, I said to Kevin one day, hey, you still practicing sax? Oh yeah, I practice a little bit. Yeah. I go, oh man, that's good. He goes, yeah, I like practicing my flute too. And I was right there. I was like, what? Wait a minute. Wait, back up. What?
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, I play flute too. Now I'm like, whoa, yeah. Paul, I'm like,
Jethro Tull.
hold on. So now,
Nice white satin.
yeah, this is where immediately I was like, I got a song we got to work on immediately. Yeah, Nights in White Satin,
Color My World.
and all the next thing you know, we started in with Jethro Tull with Locomotive Breath, Cross-Eyed Mary. Oh man, I mean, but you see. That completely changed the band. It shaped the band, and then now we started towards the Chicago stuff, doing beginnings, Make Me Smile. We had Color My World in there, all that stuff, that's how that came about. Kevin was super instrumental in. Really shaping the band, shaping the way, the direction the band went.
Yeah. So you guys, where'd you go from there? When did you join the band then, Brian?
Well, I came back in like 74. I came in the summer of 74. They were going through a change again. Wanted to change bass player and drummer. And me and Chuck have always been, still in touch and stuff. And I basically tried out. I tried out at the shop on 55th
at the store.
Street, at the store.
Yeah, I talked him into starting up again. I'm like, Brian, come on, man, you got to get back on the bass.
When Chuck says the store, what we did is we actually rented a storefront as a rehearsal place. And it was in Chicago, just east of Kedzie, right off 55th Street.
Oh, okay.
And so it's glass around the front. We rented this, and we're storing our equipment in there. One day we went, wait a minute, somebody could break this glass and steal our stuff. So I don't know where we came up with the chain link fence, but we actually put chain link fencing around the windows.
Right.
So nobody could. Hopefully nobody ever tried to break in and steal our stuff. But yeah, so at that time, starting back with the Ed and Jonas days, and into the Brian and Johnny Eichhorn days, when Johnny Eichhorn was the drummer, we would literally we'd play on a Friday night. We'd play on a Saturday night. On Sunday, we'd all meet back at the store to unload the rental truck, or Saturday night, load our stuff back in. On Monday, we'd show up back at the store, set up and rehearse Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, break down, and go play Friday night and Saturday night.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a lot of rehearsing back there.
That was what it was all about. Yeah. I mean, there's times where, I was hot tar roofing at the time. I was out of school, and it was really cold, and I decided that I didn't want to go to work, so I went to the store with blankets, and we had a little couch, and I'd sleep on there. But that's what
we were supposed to be working. Yeah.
That's what we did.
Where were you guys playing though when you first did this? Was it just local?
Yeah, high school as well.
Yeah, I distinctly remember St. Rita for one. They had the big gym with the stage.
Right.
The stage that was made out of folding tables. So that was there was nothing else you approved about that. But
So that's what we did.
Stages,
we worked real hard
Yeah,
at
we
our
were getting
craft
real serious
at
for
those
sure, man.
in those days. So then we made the change with Brian joining the band and Johnny Eichhorn. And we kept up the same schedule. We'd work in and play it, and then finally it got to the point that it made sense that we should all quit our day jobs and move down to Champaign.
That was my next question. Is when did you make the transition to Champaign?
1974.
Yeah, 74.
Yeah.
I want to say it was sometime in the summer. That'd have been right after you jumped on board, Brian. Yeah.
Well,
And,
I think it's summer of 75.
That might be, it's 75.
I think it's 75 because we were doing some stuff around here still, and we were going to Champaign a lot. Okay, so Tom Seymour really is in the picture at this point.
Yeah, he's in this
Very
picture.
important.
Tom Seymour was a guy that I went to high school with who was always a hustler. He just was a hustler. And he went to college at Lewis University and started booking the entertainment at Lewis. And at one point, he was talking to this agent, a guy who owned an agency down in Champaign, and his name was Doug Bauer. And he said, Doug, I'm booking all these acts for you here at Lewis. Can I make any money doing this? And eventually he went to work for Doug Bauer at Blytham Limited in Champaign. And that Champaign scene at that point was just like exploding with talent. It was just
live music everywhere.
Oh my God, it was off the hook.
Every night a week.
So it became a thing that we just said, hey, we want to be part of that scene. So all of us quit our day jobs, loaded up the truck, and moved down to Champaign. We rented a house and kept that same regimen where we practiced in our basement Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we were playing Friday and Saturday. Right. That's where we got the nickname Freewheelin. We were freewheeling, but we showed up with this we bought our own truck and had somebody paint Freewheelin, the logo on the side. But the way they did the E's in a script, they looked like O's.
They look like O's.
Yeah, so all the people down in Champaign saying, "Who's this Freewheelin band?"
Freewheelin. That's a stupid name.
Boy, so that's
right at the time too. When I joined the band, we also brought in a singer who Chuck knew from school.
Yes, from Leo High School also.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
happened to be Kenny Cetera.
Right.
So he was brother of Peter, and
Peter Cetera from Chicago.
Right.
Yes.
And he came in, and it was like, as soon as he opened his mouth and started singing, it was like, okay, you're in, kind of.
The other 30 guys we tried out, I said, listen, okay, you're in.
That was Kenny Cetera.
And then he came down to Champaign with us for about a year or so. Right?
Yeah.
Did he drum though too for you guys?
Well, he came back to help us when we were going through
a drum change.
The drum change again.
Because they had to get seat, whatever. Yeah.
Brian, you said that best earlier. You said that we were kind of like Spinal Tap.
And that was a moment where we actually asked Kenny to come back because he drummed. He was always practicing drum, knew the songs. And this is right before Mike came in. I got a picture of us at Beginnings Lounge up in Schaumburg with Kenny on the drums.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
And he kind of saved us there a little bit.
That might have been where I went to see you guys.
And Mike comes to see us because Tom probably, you guys were already in a Blytham band, right?
Right. I played in a band with an older brother, played keyboards. A friend from high school played bass, fretless bass. And a friend of my brother's played guitar. And we had a couple of different booking agencies. One was in Peoria, and we used Blytham also. So Tom Seymour would book Jasper's. We do the high school stuff.
Where was the band from? The band from Champaign?
North side,
North side.
Chicago. We're all like suburbanites. Mount Prospect, Arlington Heights.
Okay.
The man speaking right now was Mike Clare. Mike Clare, say hello.
He's
Hello.
been talking.
I know. I tried to get it in earlier, but but Mike became the final piece of the puzzle. Well, kind of a final piece of the puzzle, the rhythm section of Freewheelin. Mike joined because he had a van.
So
He's allowed to join. Because he had a band.
Yeah,
I don't know how many drummers they tried out, but it's kind of funny because I had, with the band that I was playing in, my older brother, who was the main dude, the keyboard player, lead singer, just decided to take off, and he drove to California, left his wife. And there were some personal issues there. Yeah. So I was still working. I was a striper and a seal coater. And I had gotten a call from Seymour, and he said, would you be interested in trying out? And I said, never heard of the band. Can I go see them? I saw them at, I think, like Bolingbrook High School. I saw you guys at Beginnings.
Beginnings, yeah.
And I was like, that's cool. I like that. And so I think I had to drive down to audition.
Yeah, I think you drove to Champaign.
Yeah. I don't know. And I probably went back and got the call. And
drums in the back seat and
drums in the band with the dog. With the dog.
Yeah, they didn't
coolest dog in the world.
They didn't know anything about my dog. I had a Whippet Greyhound.
And he had a conversion van.
Yes. And they had just,
we were all like, whoa,
you guys had just like
look at this. Oh boy, would it be nice to ride in this?
You guys had just like gotten nailed by something on the highway, right?
Yeah,
with your station wagon.
Yeah, the
so you're
station
kind of
out
of a vehicle. So that's why I always think that maybe, he's got a van. He's not that good, but he's got a van.
Still got that van?
It was awesome. You guys heard him.
No,
Awesome.
I tell you. Yeah, so that's Mike, and at this point, there's Kenny Cetera, and then
that was just to interject too, and I think it was like October of '76.
Well, there you go.
Oh,
Wow.
that's cool.
Okay, good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So at this point, I think that it makes sense to talk about the Freewheelin plan, because we really did have a plan of what our future was going to be like. And we decided through one of the other agents had this idea that maybe, we'd kind of model like an Up With People kind of thing. Not that that's the music or anything we would do, but what Up With People did is they did assemblies at high schools. And they would go out and do this assembly, and all these people, all the kids, hey, that's Up With People. But our plan was to do assemblies at high school and offer them free to the school, with the caveat that they would have to allow us to do a dance or a concert or whatever they wanted to do at nighttime. And we would supply the tickets, but they'd have to have a sponsoring organization like Student Council that would hype the thing, that would take the tickets, they'd sell them. And at that point, this is like 76.
Yeah, you were doing it already.
They would sell the tickets for $3 a piece to get people to come back to see the concert. And then they would get 10% of the door, and we would take the rest of the money. So that was a way for us to kind of break out of the bar mold and get to the point that we're playing a lot. We're playing concerts. We're playing stuff in front of a lot of
buy
people.
records. So
that was the ultimate plan. The ultimate plan was to take it national, so that we would do this thing on a national basis, play all over the country, get the Freewheelin name and the logo and the brand out in front of as many people as we could, so that a couple years down the road, when Freewheelin has the record deal and the national distribution, said Susie, who saw us when she was a junior at high school, is pushing the cart with the two kids in it down through Walmart, goes to the record section.
Those were your kids, right?
You had to derail me on it. So, and then she would see the end cap, and there's the album, the Freewheelin album. She go, I remember those guys.
Right.
They played at my high school.
Yeah, the playing at the high school really
That
went
was the
a long
plan.
way.
Well, you guys kind of etched that into your, and you guys were kind of the forerunners of that. For me, I mean, I never heard of that before, because I was going to ask you about that, how you did the assemblies and you played at night, but somebody was just telling me recently, and I'll be darned if I can think of who it was now, that they're doing that now.
I'm not surprised.
Somebody we talked to,
Sure.
but they said they're doing that now, and I said, well, I thought at the time it was Freewheelin started that, as far as I know.
Yeah, we were unique.
Yeah.
We were very unique in
That's
that.
when we were like literally on the road minimum. I mean, 6 days a week.
Yeah, we
7.
were- that was
and
like-
keep in mind now, don't forget, we were still playing bars.
Yes.
So we would get down to the bar at
Yes.
2 in the morning and have to be at a school somewhere at 9 o'clock.
And then, like, pass it around
it
the list
was
to read.
brutal.
Don't
It
let
was
the
brutal.
principal smell your breath.
Well, it was, and Chuck, right on that note, it's funny that this just happened right before Kevin passed. I was at his house about a week before, and he brought up that exact subject. He said, Tommy McDermott, who was a sound man to the Stars, the Hounds, he was a sound man for us and road manager. He says, do you remember we were playing with the place in Danville, Keggers? Keggers. We're playing Keggers. You guys did that a lot too. We're playing Keggers like on a Wednesday night. The next day, we had to be up like in Streamwood or North Suburb at some school. And Tommy McDermott talks this toothless bouncer into coming on the road with us for 2 days. Because we had lost either Lester and Grady. Some of the road crew had quit. And Tommy had talked to this guy, and he's like, sure, man, I'll go. And, here we are. We're showing up at the high school, like Chuck said. Sometimes we went right there.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Same clothes on,
And you got
the toothless bouncer.
with the toothless bouncer, man. And Kevin was like, do you remember that? And I'm like, oh, my God, I barely remember that. But, yeah. So him, Kevin, and the toothless bouncer went up and loaded in. And then we would do that. And the school loved it and we made it like an educational thing. So that's history of rock and roll.
The assembly was a history of rock and roll, a very loosely based history of rock and roll.
And you had to do something.
How long did you play the assembly?
Just
45 minutes.
Yeah, like a classroom time.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And they would get everybody in. Yeah. And it was great for them. Because,
we ran the gamut.
Yeah.
I mean, Glenn Miller, you name it. We were in the mood. We'd start it off like, Glenn Miller.
Beach Boys.
Beach Boys and just take it on up.
Because we had the saxophone.
I mean,
we thought we could do
it was crazy.
anything.
Yeah, we were doing Glenn Miller.
Yeah. And then we'd end up,
the end song was always something real current that just was on the radio.
Yeah, whatever's on. And
the Kansas. We do Kansas or Styx or something like that,
Hold the line, whatever.
Just say, well, this is what you're going to hear tonight if you come back to the concert, to the dance.
So what did you do with the millions you made off of this?
That's a good question.
We gave it to the road crew.
and honestly, Ray, I remember, Tommy was so special for us at the beginning that
Tommy McDermott,
that I remember at one point when he was trying to leave that we were paying him more than I ever made because he was he was
the guy.
He was a very integral part of getting all the bullshit done, for us to get there. He could talk you into opening up your electrical box and wire, 250 volts in, like, oh, you gotta be okay. And then we'd have lights, good lights, show.
But getting back to the assembly, the thing that really catapulted the band was the first time we did the National Student Council Convention in Marlborough, Massachusetts.
Right.
And we had rented a motorhome and had a truck and had Seymour and so
and
here we are with
our booking crew, our agents came out with us too, and we set up at this convention. Which is student councils
from all over.
So it's all the different activities student councils would get involved with.
Yeah,
and even like the Army dudes were there. Trying to recruit, and
we all had.
They were blown away. They
jackets.
Said, "You guys,
you guys are more organized than we are."
Yeah, yeah. So we played at their closing night dance. We made sure that we were around everywhere they went. They could see us, which led to some fun stuff. Because they were in Boston. Yeah. So we knew where the kids were taking their tours. So we would meet one group over here. Says, oh, they're going to be over here. Let's go. And we run over there and do it. Then finally, and this is the fun part, we ended up at Faneuil Square, which is the big thing on the waterfront in Boston.
Found a piano.
Right. Got the outdoor bar to open up the piano. So I'm playing the piano. We're drinking pina coladas, getting loaded, singing. The kids are coming by like, oh my God, that's a Freewheelin band.
News camera showed up.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
News camera showed up. We watched ourselves on TV that night.
So it was in many ways, it was right place, right time. And that's what took us. We ended up traveling the country twice.
38 different states?
Right. Played in 38 different states. Probably traveled through 42, 43.
Now, how long did this assembly thing last?
for us as far as
I'd
how long
say
did we do
70,
it?
76, 77 for sure, 78. Maybe by 79 it was done when we were back in Downers.
Well, we were still doing the assembly then, but it kind of faded out maybe into the 80s. Yeah, 80, 84.
Probably solid 4 years.
But at that point, we were able to keep moving our musical agenda on, and we had written and recorded our first single. With at that point, our lead singer Kenny Satara left the band. We brought in another guy. His name was Ron Zielinski, who goes back Ron Austin, and he was our singer, and that was good. We were traveling with Ron, so and writing songs with him and stuff. So our first single was "Reality" that I wrote, and another song called
Out in the Clear.
Out in the Clear. And I'm telling you, I have that single is on my father-in-law's jukebox, and Out in the Clear stands up today.
Now, Out in the Clear was written by the new guitar player. Chuck finally had enough.
Chuck,
and it was time.
In all honesty, Chuck, we worked our ass off, right? Chuck met this wonderful woman, fell in love, and decided he wanted to start a family, and knew that a rock and roll lifestyle wasn't going to make it for starting.
And by the way, I think it's Mary Jo's birthday too.
It was his wife was Mary Jo, Mary Jo Harum, and today's her birthday.
Yep,
She's left us now.
Yeah.
How many years?
Oh man, 12 years.
12. Wow.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Mary Jo, if I could digress for a second, Mary Jo is just the sweetest woman on the face of the planet, and Chuck married way above his station. And they had two wonderful kids. And she's missed even to this day.
Oh, yeah. So Dave Curry came in to replace Chuck.
Right, that's what I was going to say. When did Dave Curry come in then?
Probably
Chuck
like 77-ish.
My last show was New Year's Eve, 1976. That's what I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
76.
But that was like, I literally ended 1976, leaving the band, moving back to Chicago.
Did we have the white tuxedos for that show?
Oh, I think we did. I guess we did. But at that point, we were rocking it up. It was like just go to Jack and I T-shirts.
I
it was
mean,
crazy.
You guys too, Paul. We did a lot of prom season. Was
it was huge.
High school dances were
big money.
Man.
Oh yeah. That's why I wanted to propose to M&R Rush and to Marty that we do some shows in the summer as M&R Rush and Freewheelin and call it Who Played at Your Prom Tour.
There you go.
Because if it wasn't M&R Rush, it was Freewheelin.
Oh man!
That's right.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah, it was. We'd be on the road, but we'd have to come back for prom season. From April through May, we were playing at the Hilton or at the Palmer House or the Drake all the time.
So now you mentioned Downers Grove. When you guys had left Champaign.
We had left Champaign.
Tom Seymour decided to start his own booking agency.
Okay.
He got a place in Oak Park called it was called Elite Entertainment.
Right.
So because he was moving up here, we had to move too.
Oh, I see.
And we found a house in Downers Grove.
Yep.
And trying to write songs and trying to, record
travel and do
still do the same thing. And Dave was definitely a force at that time. Dave Curry, singer-songwriter extraordinaire.
Oh, yeah.
And
if I can interject right here in the middle, that next Sunday, January 12th, when we're doing the celebration of Kevin Favish's musical life, of which he was a huge part of Freewheelin, a huge part of Dancing Noodles. Dave Curry, who currently lives in Florida and works as a musician, will be flying in to be part of that.
That's cool.
Part of that show, yes. Good. And also the singer I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, Ron will be there.
Ron's coming also.
Linsky, yep.
But Ron's an interesting thing where he was telling me earlier this week that he's now a sax player. He actually, after he left Freewheelin, he spent a lot of time taking sax lessons and going to a college in DuPage and learning to play sax there, mainly because he was inspired by Kevin.
wow. Yeah.
So,
right.
and Ron will be out there. He's going to sing a song with us. He's going to play sax with us too. Dave Curry's coming out, flying up from Florida. He's going to be part of that whole
Ron was in on Red Lion Reunion 50th.
Yeah,
Oh, right, okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
And Ron was a big part of that show. I mean,
He came in and did all the Kevin
he's got a
parts.
fabulous voice, and then he played sax on all the Bruce stuff, and we did
the record,
right.
we did some
Yeah, I
Edgar
remember
Winter, and he's
So-
top shelf.
Yeah.
So let's slide back to where we were. We were at Downers Grove.
Yeah. So well, then how long did the band actually last?
I think what was 82, 82,
82, 83.
Yeah.
When
So
things,
74 to 83, like the Beatles, 9 years, right? Or 10 years.
yeah, so we're living in Downers Grove and working and doing that and playing, clubs around there and still playing the assemblies. And actually we moved into Downers Grove in 1979.
We were
Actually
really-
78 because we had been working on a recording the Freewheelin album, and we started when we were in Champaign. Started recording at Pyramid Audio, Rob Vuklich's place,
Right.
and we ended up finishing the album at Tanglewood Studios. That was Larry Millis. Larry Millis, who's a guitar player in Ides of March. And so we finished up the album. We sent it out to mastering, where we actually recorded half the album live at Chicago Fest in 1970. I want to say 79, but I think it's 78, maybe 79.
Yeah, because it played a couple of years.
Yeah, we played every Chicago Fest there was at Navy Pier, and for the last year we played like twice or three times or something because we were living back in town,
Right.
and we were so tight with the guys who actually booked it. They would call Tom Seymour and say, "Hey, so and so's not showing up tomorrow. You guys want to play?"
And we did the thing with Tom Bishop there.
Right?
Yeah.
Tom
Tom Bishop was a singer-songwriter,
Right.
and he produced our record.
Oh, okay.
And we did Telephone. That song we did, Telephone, was written by him.
From the bright and early morning till the dim and weary night, keep on pushing buttons in a never-ending fight. It's mindless information, but you hang on every word. The lies and aggravation are like none you've ever heard. And leave you all alone, talking on the telephone.
So we did a show with him doing all his music.
Yeah.
We did a lot of shows with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really inspirational. Also, I gotta just interject this. They came across they re-recorded some of Tom Bishop's material. What's the name of the record?
A little bit of physics and a lot of luck or something like that. Yeah.
And brought that back, and we were lucky enough to record a couple of the songs on it
Up in Lake Geneva.
up in Lake Geneva. And, just speaking of Kevin and playing flute, I mean, it holds up today. What's the Beatles song? I can't think of it.
I'm only sleeping.
I'm only sleeping. Tom Bishop does a phenomenal version of I'm Only Sleeping. And it's funny. It's angry Tom at the end. You can feel it. But instead of the background vocals, he said, "Hey Kevin, maybe you could play the flute part on this." And that and the flute solo that Kevin does, I'm telling you,
It makes your hair stand.
I'm telling you, it holds up today. It's like 40 years ago we did that, and the quality of that, because when they pulled these tapes out, Jeff Wallach, who was helping them out, another sound man to the stars, he was saying that these tapes were literally disintegrating because they were 40 years old as they were redoing them. So thank God they did that because it might have been lost. But
A little bit of physics and a lot of luck.
yeah, there it is. There it is, Ray. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I'm only sleeping. I'm telling you, I'm only sleeping, and he's got a couple on there that stand up really
What's
good. Great
the one? The woman in a yellow dress or something.
Oh, yeah.
black eyed.
So there you go. Find that one for the to play a little of that. Interject maybe right now.
Some guy sitting in a barroom, talking trash and drinking beer. The bartender finally asked him, "What are you doing here?" Then he said, "I've tried so far with no success.
I'm Only Sleeping. It's just, I'll tell you what, it is really out of a lot of stuff that we recorded. And the Freewheelin album sounds really good now too, But there's that's the song right there. But
that
I'm Only Sleeping is really Black-Eyed Lady with the yellow dress or something.
And the yellow dress.
Yeah.
And the yellow satin.
Yellow satin dress.
Yeah, Tom's he was a great inspiration, man.
And a great songwriter, and just a great fun.
The one that he would not, I don't think he wanted to record again or play again, was The Future Has Just Happened and the Worst Is Yet to Come.
Oh, that's right.
Remember that?
Yeah, he was
That was an awesome song.
Man.
He was definitely.
It sounds heavy.
Yeah, that's why you don't want to play it again,
Yeah, so Freewheelin Band is we've kind of followed the timeline, quite a bit here. I was saying 79 because we actually left for a West Coast tour on I want to say January 7th, January 6th, something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
In 1979. If you remember the blizzard of 1979, we were all marshaled at our offices in Oak Park, and we all met there and okay, guys, we're getting ready. This is it. We're ready to go. We were driving from Chicago down to Dallas to pick up the very fresh copies of our record to take them on tour with us. We were driving to Dallas, then going to Albuquerque, then going to Phoenix.
Right.
The radio, the television, everybody said, the roads are horrible. If you don't have to be on the roads, don't get on the road.
I'm telling you, they were shutting down I-55 behind us. They were shutting the ramps down and everything.
So now think about this. We got our road crew in the truck with a sleeper. And then us in the van, and we tandemed out and hitting the road. We're 25, 26, and bulletproof. You can't, nothing is stopping us. We're fucking getting down there and getting our record, and nobody better get in the way. Now, I'll tell you a quick story that Mike Greg Potter this thing, and it doesn't get on. But we're getting close to Morris or something like that. Yeah. We got the CB on. We're all CBing back and forth, and all of a sudden, hey, anybody can help me! Help me! My God, I'm in a snowdrift. And I might have been driving and riding shotgun, but I said, "Where are you? What's your mile marker?" And the guy comes back. I'm at mile marker so and so, and we were almost right there. Says, "Hold on, we're right there." And as we pull up, here's a van that's blown off the road and into a snowdrift. So here we are. Like I said, we're 25 and we're bulletproof. So we all jump out, go over to the van. It's a guy with his wife and his baby, and the baby is sick. And he's driving to Houston because he's got a job, and he's got a couch tied to the top of the van.
yeah, that's right.
Okay, and you're on I-55. This storm is coming in from the west, so it's a wind from the west, 30 miles an hour.
We were following the markers. That's all you could see.
That's all we couldn't see the road. Yeah. You could just see the snow and the mile markers, and just okay, let's go. So we tucked this guy in between our van and our truck. Says, okay, stick with us. So we manage our way down to Bloomington. Get off in Bloomington. Go to the truck stop there, and we're all on the same page. All the guys in the band and the truck. We actually switched CBs. Okay, go over here. Listen, we're not taking this.
Yeah, this guy's
done. We got him over, and I don't know who all went. If I went up to him or
Kevin. This is where
Kevin
leader Kevin. Leader Kevin is also.
And he goes over and he says, hey, buddy, listen, glad we were able to get you out, but this is as far as we go. And he says, I got to go to Houston. I've got a job waiting for me. Yeah, you can get there tomorrow morning. We're moving on, and we're not taking you with us. Yeah. So that was it. We gassed up, coffeed up, and got back on the road, and within 18 hours or so, we end up in Dallas and we're getting boxes of our record from the place, and then on to Albuquerque and started that tour.
And those people met you in Albuquerque and saw the show that No.
No.
I just thought there was a happy ending for these people.
No, we don't know
Hopefully they
about
got
that.
to Houston.
We left them in Bloomington.
So the band ended in '82. Eddie, I know you started another band, right? You started Eddie and the Hot Rods.
Well, yeah, that's.
And that was the start of the Noodles, then, right?
Right, in a nutshell,
That's a story in itself.
Freewheelin fizzled out. I'm printing T-shirts with a friend of mine. One of the guys that I'm printing T-shirts with said, "Hey, Teenage Radiation's looking for a keyboard player." I called Roman.
Right.
I got the job with Steve Dell's Teenage Radiation, which is the best gig in the city.
Yeah.
But he was only playing, 4 times a year, and I was used to playing 320 days a year with these guys. So we started a little side thing. Was Eddie and the Hot Rocks with Brian and Chuck and my brother Matt on the drums.
Right.
And then
And Kevin.
and was Kevin in it too? No,
Kevin most definitely was in the original Hot Rocks, yes.
I thought he was living.
No.
He was living in California at that time.
Yeah, because he
We
left
played it basically-
Freewheelin.
Yeah,
We continued
I'm
playing.
not sure about this.
yeah,
We continued playing. Kevin left the band.
yeah. Kevin left the band and moved to
quit
California.
Freewheelin right before the end. Yeah.
Oh.
I got a promo picture. of
And
it,
we
too.
didn't.
He was
He
working-
never came on board with the Eddie and the.
Not as a full time. He might have been in
I'm
for.
mistaken about that. Okay.
Might have been
Might have
in
came
for a holiday
yeah,
and played something with
probably
us.
Played.
But no, it was Eddie and the Hot Rocks.
And we did a lot of the noodle. We were doing a lot of the noodle stuff.
Yeah,
60 stuff and
The premise was at that point, I just wanted to play songs and we didn't have to practice.
kind of like the noodles.
Yeah, so
And,
that,
it was a little short-lived.
but it was fun.
But one of the gigs, I think we were playing Brewbakers over on Western Avenue, and the Roman Sawcheck was there.
Right.
Okay, so Roman was like at this point is Steve Dowell's producer,
And I was
all
playing
that.
with Roman.
and you're
he was-
playing with
yeah, he
Roman,
was out to see Eddie.
and I distinctly remember we came off after the first set, and I had never met him. Eddie introduced me to him, and he goes, "Jesus Christ, what a concept this is! this old stuff you guys are doing." He said, "What a concept!" And well, yeah, that's what we figured. It's all stuff that'll go over.
Right.
People just rush the dance floor.
Right.
And
Because we were playing Motown.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
what
we
it
were
was.
playing a lot.
Yeah.
But I had a day gig. I was working weekends, and I could not stay doing what I was doing with these guys. So, but
It escalated. Yeah.
that was.
And then
I think I'm fair to say that was pretty much the birth of the Noodles.
right,
Yeah.
Birth of the Dance Noodles was right there.
So what can we expect Sunday when we see you at Riley's Daughter? and by 2:00 the show starts, right?
Yeah, well, the thing
Give or take.
begins around 2, but I think we're going to just socialize for a while and maybe open mic, talk about Kevin and stuff. And then the Dance Noodles is going to play.
Okay.
And then a little after that, Freewheelin's going to play, and we're going to come out and play some songs that we did play, cover songs in the Noodles. A song that we should have played in a little Doobie Brothers sing. And then we're going to play 4 songs from the Freewheelin album,
Oh, okay.
2 of which haven't been played in front of people in 37 years.
Wow.
And then we're graciously going to be joined by Kevin Klein and Greg Helton, the Brass Holes,
Right.
are going to play some songs with us, and we're just going to rock out.
It's been just great rehearsing with these guys
Yeah.
again. Mike and Chuck are just
And Glenn Asteric is playing.
Glenn's.
Yeah.
Yeah, Glenn's been learning
Glenn
the
from the
Kevin
Rob
licks,
Burgundies.
on that from the record, and
Glenn?
And you have John.
Johnny
Johnny Perovich.
Perovich is
Johnny
in the
Perovich
house.
is sitting over here.
Oh, wait.
We're
What was
at-
your other name, John?
Johnny Perovich is interesting. Johnny, I'd like you to speak up on this because you and Matt, my brother Matt, who's the drummer in Eddie and the Hot Rocks and also Chicago 6, you guys are best buds forever, and we're big Freewheelin fans when you were in
Yes.
high school.
And my first Freewheelin show was at Bogan High School in 1974, and I think it was Chuck Ryan. And,
Bogan was Bogan was awesome.
And then I witnessed all the incarnations that you just talked about of all the way through Kenny Cetera, CB, the big show at St. Rita. I remember one year was with CB and Kenny Cetera, and I just remember Chuck, you were playing. You had a talk box, and you were doing Peter Frampton thing.
John. A lot of Frampton. A lot of Peter Frampton back then, and Joe Walsh. And,
John.
But Johnny Perovich
hacked. I mean, it was like wall people, a sea of heads.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
The St. Rita community loved us, and they truly believed that, as we did, that we were going to be the next big thing.
I think you were the next REO Speedway.
Right. Yeah, that's the next Styx, next REO Speedway. And that's as we did too, and Johnny was there to be a part of all that. And that's why it's a natural thing for Johnny, such a great guitar player.
Johnny's a force in nature here.
Johnny is a great guitar player. And played with my brother Matt in a band called The Myth. Well, actually, we were first called Crystal Myth.
Wait a minute now. Hold it.
That won't fly these days.
Yeah, well, when we started doing the high schools with Elite Entertainment with Tommy Seymour, that was not a name that you wanted to do high schools with. No. So, and at that time, it was the late 70s, early 80s. You had The Kind, the Cars, everything. So it was like
it became The Myth.
Right.
The Myth,
With Jim Miller on guitar.
And every now and then they get together and they do it again. This was a good band.
Yeah, and it was every weekend, the same kind of deal that those high school gigs are paying great money at that.
Sure.
And paying more than bands get today. Really.
Really. So John's going to be playing guitar with us, and as it turns out, since Dave Curry's coming in and Chuck's playing, we're going to have like Leonard Skinner on stage.
Really?
Noodle Skinner.
Yeah. It's going to be a guitar army, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
So you got this gig next Sunday. Everybody knows about that. What's your other schedule? Where else are you guys playing?
That remains to be seen.
I think we'll be back in the basements.
Last Saturday we rehearsed.
Yeah, nothing pending. I mean,
last Saturday we rehearsed here, and Ed said, "This might be our last gig." And I looked at him and said, "No."
Right.
Who knows? I'm telling you, we go out on
this band can surface at any time.
Yeah. Who played at your prom? Tour.
Well, Mike Clare had the van. That's how he got in the band. I've got the basement, so that's how I got. So you never know. It could be the
amplifiers.
And
we're probably going to be telling some stories Sunday, right?
Yeah, I would
guarantee you.
Definitely. Maybe Saturday too. They might ask for some stories.
I have one that. Okay. I'd like to share now, Alan, because I've never forgotten about this. And
was it Downers Grove?
No. We were on one of our West Coast tours, and we were in Seattle. And the one thing with Kevin was that when he would get upset or pissed, he'd get this strawberry in the middle of his forehead. And it would just
turn red. Yeah,
you could tell there was something bothering him because, man. So anyway,
is this the haircut?
Yes.
Now let me just interject real quickly. Kevin Fabish.
We can edit this.
Kevin Fabish had beautiful blonde hair.
Yes,
he wore long blonde hair, and like women were just envious of his hair. But he also had a goatee. And he wore octagon sunglasses. It was quite often that we were out at like the Red Lion or someplace in Champaign, and some drunk guy come up and tap him on the shoulder. He said, "Hey, honey," and he turned around and like what? And the guy go, "Oh God."
So anyway,
we're on the road,
and there was a place that I think you and Kevin, Ed, would have. It was like a haircut college, or where people that wanted to be stylists, and they were given like these great discounts on haircuts, or maybe
like for $5.
Yeah. So Kevin decided to go in, and I thought you did too. But so we were all outside, and again we were in Seattle. And we were just having a good time, and. Waiting. I see Kevin come out, and he's got this freaking strawberry in his forehead. He says, "Look at me! I look like fucking Captain Kangaroo!" And he kicked a parking meter, top of it, and bent that thing.
Yeah, he was powerful.
He was so he's a big goofy
Kicking
looking bang,
mailboxes.
you know.
Oh my God!
I swear, I just told that story to Claire and Nick.
Oh god.
Oh,
I
just the other
totally
day, that's-
forgot about that.
He was spinning around. He was so mad. when Kevin would get really, really mad, he truly became the Tasmanian devil. It was a, you know.
Yeah, definitely missed. Going to be missed, and
But
Absolutely.
you know, he was a driving force. In the freewheeling.
yeah. Him and Chuck at the beginning for sure, man, and
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So this is a free musical celebration. There's no cover charges or anything. Anybody wants to just show up.
It's kind of a voluntary thing.
Right.
Pass the hat kind of thing. There's not going to be anybody standing at the door,
Right. No.
Yeah, so if anybody's curious
charging.
about it.
Yeah. It's a voluntary thing,
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, as far as donations, yeah.
Yeah,
thanks
and,
to
and all that. Any proceeds is all going right to the GoFundMe page, for his family, for his kids, and that. So
yeah, thanks to everybody with the GoFundMe page too. That's been a great help to the family. I mean,
That was a driving force by Kevin's niece, Colleen Baggy, who actually was raised pretty much as his sister.
Yeah, they lived in the same house. Right?
Yeah. Colleen's great.
yeah.
And she helped take care of him at the end, and after he passed away, took care of all of his all the legal stuff, and cross the T's, dotted the I's, and so here we are, remembering Kev.
So is there a Freewheelin Facebook page or anything?
Yeah, there is.
Is there?
Yeah, it's actually called Freewheelin Facebook. Freewheelin.
On Facebook,
So yeah, you'll see that.
Okay.
Through a website?
No.
Yeah.
There's not a website, just Freewheelin on Facebook.
So anybody wants to follow you, get some more information, just go to Facebook and look up Freewheelin.
Freewheelin, one word, no G. That's how we always had to say it. One word, no G. So,
Alrighty, guys. Thanks a lot for taking the time out
Thanks,
to talk
Wade,
to us.
Paul.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
thank you guys.
Look forward to seeing you guys next weekend.
All right, thank
Sounds
you.
good. It'll be fun.
Thanks.
Well, that was some great stories with them guys. They went back a long time. I'm glad to see that they're all still working out there in different projects.
Yeah, they are, and it's a shame Freewheelin's not together anymore. But you can actually see them, as I said, on the 12th of January at Riley's Daughter. They're putting the band back together, I guess, for a show.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Going to honor all of our friend Kevin Fabish, who just recently passed.
Yeah, it's a shame about Kevin, but this is going to be for a good cause. Freewheelin is getting back together. It's for Kevin's memorial, and it'll be like I said, June 12th at Riley's Daughter at 2 p.m. So come on out and have some fun with them.
Definitely, if you're free, then start wheeling over to Riley's Daughter.
That's right.
And thanks for listening. Just want to remind you, you can catch us every Monday night on Road to Rock Radio. That's the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66 radio station. Check them out on Facebook or their website.
Yeah, check them out and listen to them. Listen to them in your office or in your car or wherever you can get
your Apple Watch.
Sure. Really?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Got to have earbuds though.
Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. So listen to Road to Rock Radio whenever you get a chance. We've got some great Illinois music there. All Illinois music.
Alrighty then. That'll do it for this week. We'll be talking with you guys real soon.
Thank you. Thanks for listening.
Chicago.